Scotland losing to the Czech Republic. This was the first game of the day. These are a look at the stats, but it was 2 goals from Patrick Schick, the second of them absolutely wonderful. They were both great goals, but the second one is the one that's going to be remembered, Derek.
Oh, yeah, I mean, an absolute beast of a goal, and certainly from a Scottish point of view to have conceded it. But hats off to Schick, who is a classy player, high technical level, elegant striker, all-around player. He can do it all as attackers go, and he did it all in this game. I mean, that goal took my breath away commentating. I'm sure it did the same for everybody else. You could criticise David Marshall's starting position, but Schick has still got to do what most people, frankly, couldn't do in the heat of tournament battle, and scored with a fantastic header earlier as well. I thought that it was not a bad Scotland performance. I don't think they had breaks when you need breaks at a certain time. The Czechs are a physical, sort of in-your-face team, quite direct, and really it came down to a couple of moments of real quality from Schick.
And the foresight from him as well, because he did say after the game that he'd seen that Marshall was off his line and he gave it a shot, Stevie.
Well, that's what good players do. They think quicker and they think better than anybody else. And that's the small margins that undid Scotland today. A couple of mistakes. Yes, you can praise Schick for the goal, but the truth is, if somebody gets closer to him, gets tighter, puts him off physically, maybe doesn't have time to pick his spot. And of course, Marshall, in my opinion, makes a huge error being far too far out his goal for the second. So if you give a quality player opportunities, then they're going to cause you problems, and that was the difference between the two sides. Unfortunately for Scotland, this was a game they couldn't afford to lose, because they're going to play against better opposition and they're going to play against a team full of more quality players. So that doesn't bode well for the future.
Obviously, England coming up for Scotland. Can they take anything from that game?
They can, and I don't live my life by stats, but that graphic we had up before was very interesting, where Scotland's expected goals was over 2 and Czech Republic's was under 1. And that's the difference between top-class sides. Scotland didn't take their chances, Patrick Schick did. Look at expected goals there. That tells you everything you need to know about the game. So as much as people are beating Scotland up about the performance, that's not the game that I saw, and that's not the game when I'm looking at the stats, especially the shots as well. 19 shots. So possession, I'm never too worried about. That can go either way. But when you look at shots and expected goals, it tells you that Scotland play well. And in my opinion, if they had Patrick Schick, they win the game today.
Stevie, that's what stood out to you, wasn't it? The expected goals on the panel.
I just don't get that at all.
That tells you that Scotland created lots of chances.
Yeah, I did. And the fact that you look at that and they had 19 shots, number one, they didn't score a goal. 2, they only got 4 of them on target, tells you that their biggest problem is what they've got up front. They don't have the quality of a Schick. They've got guys who give you everything and they'll get in positions, but they just don't have that extra bit of ability to take the opportunities.
We have some top quality commentators here to talk expected goals.
I was sure Stevie Nicol was going to be the absolute defender to the hilt of expected goals. I came in thinking that
nonsense.
He would be extolling the virtues of ex-goals and every other statistical category that we have. No, I actually didn't. But no, I think seriously, it was a good Scotland performance, and you can even talk about the challenges that they won in the game. They were up for that. I didn't think it was a passive Scotland performance. Apart from maybe when you think about the early part of the game and sort of sending a message as to, do you really want to win it? How bold do you want to be? And I didn't necessarily see that boldness. I saw a solidity from Scotland early on, as if they were trying to say, right, let's not lose the game. But sometimes you've got to take that little bit of a chance. And maybe the selection was a little bit conservative, but you can sort of understand it. First game at a major tournament in 23 years. It could easily have gone the other way. It didn't.
Yeah, how important then, Frank, is it to get that winning start, especially when you are one of the underdogs in a tournament? Not that you would know too much about that.
Yeah, I had the chance to play for a big team, but it's true that you have to win the first game in order to make sure you can go through. Winning the first game doesn't make you sure getting through, but losing the first game it's a big problem, because you have to win the 2 others if you want to maybe have a chance to go through.
I'm just looking there at Group D.
Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good.
Okay, so let's ask: can Scotland still go through, Stevie?
I don't think they can. I don't see them getting in against England, honestly. listen, they'll be giving everything they can, and they'll be tough, and they'll try and be strong, and they'll be physical. But they just can't afford to make any mistakes, because England have got so many match winners in their team that we don't. That means that they'll be out.
It's going to be difficult, but, you know, may I say, we are in the company of Don Hutchison.
Thank you,
who
Derek.
scored a goal
Thank
at
you.
Wembley for Scotland in a
Thank you.
pressure cooker fixture to make it 1-0 Scotland on the day. Now, they lost the tie over the 2 matches.
Don't worry about that part.
But, yeah, you know, Don can tell you all about what it is
Yeah,
to
it's pretty
score a goal for
insignificant that they
Scotland.
lost.
Yeah, tell us, Don, to come up against England, it has to...
Extremely insignificant, they lost.
But it has to add that extra bit of spark to this
Absolutely.
team.
Absolutely. I was always the type of player where the bigger the game, I thought I could perform better. I like the adrenaline. I like being the underdog. I like being away from home. National anthems getting booed. I love all that. It just gives me so much adrenaline. The only thing I would say is I think we were a better side than probably what the Scottish have got now. But they've got to take something from the game. They've got to go into it with some sort of confidence. Not gung-ho, not stick everyone forward and Steve Clarke picking the most attacking side he's ever got in his life. But they've got to get to a point where they might be living on moments. I've had plenty of managers say to me in the past where, or say to the team in the past, right, your goal is today, it's 30 minutes in, you keep a clean sheet. Then can you get to half-time? And you come in at half-time with a clean sheet against England, you can try and kick on from there. The most important thing, because I don't think there's any way back, if England take the lead against Scotland, I then fear massively for Scotland. I don't think we've got 2 or 3 goals in us. So the most important thing is make sure you've got a clean sheet. If you get one, protect it for your life.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.